פרק י"ב, משנה ה'. Continuation, we're still dealing with the same thing. כתב בשבת במשכין, he takes some orange juice. He takes some orange juice and he puts it on the letter, כגון של ענבים או של תותים.
What do you mean? He take his finger, he put in this and he put like this?
Yeah, he writes on his clothing. You know, you have grape juice.
Oh.
You have grape juice, you take it, you put an aleph over here and a bet over here.
כן.
With a little bit of grape juice. כגון של ענבים או של תותים, for example, grapes or some berries. במי פירות, he wrote with the water of fruits, במיץ של פירות, with some juice. באבק דרכים, in the dust. You know, on the car.
כן, על האוטו.
On the car, that's right. בתוך האבק שרשם באצבעות צורת אותיות באבק, that there was dust and he make a shape of two letters. באבק הסופרים, in the dust of the people who write. באפרורית של כסת הסופר, again it's like all kind of dust that is remaining from the סופר. ובכל דבר שאינו מתקיים. This is the rule. Anything that doesn't last. That you can go like this and it's gone. You know, it's here now, it's gone tomorrow, it's gone next. שרישומו אינו מתקיים. That it doesn't last. פטור. Again, פטור אבל אסור. No, it's not like give you a zero. But you don't bring a sin offering. פטור מחטאת. What happens? כתב לאחר ידו. A person, instead of holding the pen like this, he holds the pen like this. Upside down. Yeah, שוני. כתב לאחר ידו, בגב ידו, שהפך ידו וכתב. ברגלו, he wrote with his foot. בפיו, he put the thing in his mouth. במרפקו, in his elbow. שאחז העץ באצבעות רגלו, he held the pen with the toes of his feet, או בפיו, either in his mouth, או במרפקו, או in his elbow. כתב אות אחת סמוך לכתב. What happened if there was a gimel already written down and you wanted to add to it, make it into a gag, roof? So you added another gimel next to the first gimel. So you created a new word. Now it's not just, but only one, but you created a word, a whole word. You create a whole world. Oh, we see. כתב אות אחת סמוך לכתב, שהייתה שם אות כתובה, there was one letter there, וכתב אות סמוך לה והשלימה לשתיים, שם תיבה. Now he made a whole world by only adding one letter. כתב על גבי כתב, שהעביר העט על שתי אותיות כתובות, שהיו מטושטשות קצת וחידש אותן בכך. They were very faint. They were already written down, two letters. And all he did is he made it darker with his pen. He only increased. נתכוון לכתוב חטא וכתב שני זיינים. If you look at the Sefer Torah, the way you write a chet is you write a zayin, you write another zayin next to it, and you connect them with the thing. So a chet, so he had the intention to write one letter. But as he's writing it, he's doing the first zayin, then he's doing the second zayin. According to some opinion, if the two letters do not make a word, he's not obligated. But over here, Zaz is a word. So even according to opinion that says he's still obligated now because Zaz is a word. Zaz means to move.
Two letters.
And he wrote two letters. Is he going
to
to
change it to one letter?
Oh, so that's exactly. And but he intended to write a chet. He did, but he didn't write a chet. He wrote two zayins. שעשה כאין שני זיינים מתוך כוונה לחברם בגג למעלה. He had an intention to connect them afterwards at the top. ולעשות מהם אות חטא, and to make from them a חטא. ולא חיברם. He didn't. ונמצא שנשארו שני זיינים. And we find that he has two zayins. אחד בארץ ואחד בקורה. He wrote one letter on the floor and one letter at the top. Or the wall, right? He wrote one letter.
You have to do.
No, the chet. He wrote an aleph on the floor and a bet in at the top. אחד בארץ ואחד בקורה. כתב אות אחת על הרצפה ועוד אחת על התקרה. One on the floor, one on the ceiling. כתב על שני כתלי הבית, or he wrote it in two walls of the house, שלא בזווית. Important that they're not read together. It's not in the same corner. In other words, the two letters are not read together. אות אחד בכותל אחד ועוד אחד בכותל אחר. One is in one, the other one is in the other wall. והוא הדין בכותל אחד, and even if you wrote it on the same wall, אלא שהאותיות רחוקות מזה, but they're far away, one א' is there, ג' is there. על שני דפי פנקס, he wrote it in two different pages of the book. אות אחד בעמוד זה ואות אחד בעמוד זה, one letter in one page and the other letter in another page, ואין נהגים זה עם זה, as long as you don't read them together, ואין האותיות נקראות ביחד, בכל אלו, in all these examples, פטור. He's not obligated. So everything we said up to now, in all those examples, not obligated. Of course, you're not allowed to do it. But if one did it, it doesn't have the obligation because they need to be read together, or they need to be rishumam nikar, that needs to be stayed there for a long time. Then mechatat, from sin offering, vatam, and the reason, שלאחר ידו או ברגלו, because if he does it in a strange way with his feet, for example, אין זו דרך כתיבה, this is not how people write, ובכותב אות אחת סמוך לכתב, and when one writes, adds one letter next to another letter, אין כאן כתיבה של שתי אותיות, you write, he wrote a word, but the minimum requirement we said is what? 2, and he only wrote a word with 1.
So how this example of the two signs coming in here, that he actually wrote
very good.
letters,
very good,
but then connected them. So
because it's not מלאכת מחשבת. You remember we had the intention was to write a chet, okay. And he didn't do his intention. He didn't do the intention. ובכותב אחד בארץ ואחד בקורה, אין שני אותיות נקראות ביחד. Okay. Now the question is emojis. This is ממש emojis.
מה זה emojis?
You know emojis, you have a smiley face? Right? Emoji? That's an emoji, for example. In other words, one letter symbolizes a word. One letter symbolizes, for example, Reish for Rabbi. Everybody knows Rabbi, Reish, Rabbi Shimon. Or Hey for God. You know, everybody knows the Hey or Reish for. So he says, maybe if you wrote a Reish for Rabbi, even though it's one letter, but because everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows what it is in one letter. It's not like you wrote Aleph Dalet, which means nothing. According to one opinion, Aleph Dalet is not obligated. But according to, we say you are obligated. But maybe the Reish, so it's
one letter, it's not two.
That's right. But maybe because this one letter has a meaning,
then it's chayav.
Then you're obligated. כתב הוכחת נוטריקון, שעשה גרש מעל האות. In other words, you put a Reish, and it's actually better because you added the thing. Yeah. So maybe it's 2 letters now because you added the thing, but the thing was together with the Reish. So am I going to consider it now as 2 letters or just 1? לסימן קיצור של מילה כגון א' with a א' to means master, אדון, or Reish to mean rabbi. So over here we're going to have a difference of opinion. Rabbi Yoshua ben Betera mechayev. Rabbi Yoshua ben Betera says you are obligated, you're writing 2 letters. You're giving it 2 definitions. כיוון שהכל מבינים מאותה אות תיבה שלמה. And everybody understand from now that it's not just a Reish. Everybody understand it's a Rabbi. If you didn't put the chip, maybe you're right, but you put the thingy. הרי זה כאילו כתב כל התיבה. It's like you wrote the entire word. וחכמים פותרים, חכמים says you don't have the minimum requirement. You need to write 2 letters. You didn't write 2 letters, you're not obligated.
So חכמים, I can learn that those סימנים זה לא letter.
That's right.
נכון?
Those סימנים. Although, if you remember, the question is, it's very strange over here, because we learned that a siman is a letter.
Well,
in the first one, if you remember, when we did it last time, we were telling, we learned that just to put a siman, like a smiley face.
Oh.
We learned it has a meaning. It has a meaning. But over here, it's not, the geresh by itself is not really a meaning. It's not really a meaning. So it's in between. It's right
But it
in
is a
between.
meaning. If you don't put that,
Yeah, but it doesn't have a
it
meaning.
could be just a resh.
Yeah, but it's only a meaning with the other letter. It doesn't have a meaning on its own.
By itself.
By itself. The other one we were discussing a meaning on its own.
Okay.
Over here, okay.
That's the reason.
You gave another example of a hay.
Mhm.
Is that with what, a thing on it too?
Yeah, if you just have a hay, it's just a hay. So a hay with an apostrophe, we have difference of opinion. Rabbi Yoshua says you're obligated, and Chachamim says you're not obligated.
So there's no words that are just one letter without any apostrophe.
There are. You're not obligated on them, Chachamim says. Even if there is.
Right.
Even if there will be a smiley face,
They
whatever.
have-
And they have a meaning. You're not obligated on them.
Because it's one letter.
Yeah, that's right. The minimum requirement is 2 letters according to Chachamim. 2 letters, not a letter and a little bit. חכמים פותרים שהרי לא כתב שני אותיות, because he didn't write 2 letters, and the halacha is going to be like חכמים.